Hey, my friend, welcome to this video here where I have some really amazing news for you. This is like some life-changing, fantastic, phenomenal news that I'm going to have to share very quickly because I have a plan with one of my friends. We're going for a hike very soon. I have like 10 minutes, okay? So I'm going to very quickly share you some amazing, profound, life-changing, radical news, okay? So that news is going to help you be the healthiest and most just like vibrant and awake and self-actualized version of yourself, because the news is that on planet Earth right now we have some very clear and powerful information about how to actually eat the proper food that actually cleans and cleanses the inside of your body and fuels you with the life-giving nutrients that you need to be your fullest self, to have your fullest amount of energy, your fullest brain power, your fullest passion, your fullest beauty and health and radiance. We already have that information on planet Earth. It's available for you. I've already made a lot of videos about it on my channel. Okay, so I'm going to link a lot of that in the description, and I'm going to keep talking about it as the time goes on, because on planet Earth, one of the biggest problems is that our diet space is full of delusional ideas, incorrect, false ideas that aren't accurate, and that basically lead you to having sicknesses, chronic illnesses, and unoptimal health, okay? So the chronic illness rates on planet Earth are going up, where there's people like me who are 25 years old or even younger, right? Have chronic illnesses, right? Thyroid problems, skin problems, certain kinds of like digestion issues, sometimes like reproductive issues, all various kinds of things, brain issues like brain fog, chronic anxiety, even certain kinds of OCD, PTSD, even ADHD, a lot of these kinds of conditions, chronic conditions, random allergies, chronic weight gain, a lot of this kind of stuff. These are being like more people have these chronic conditions that are very debilitating. I know people who are my age that can't even get out of bed, that are bedridden because they have a nervous system issue and this kind of thing, tingles and numbness. And you know, we're made to think that it's our psychology, right? Oh, you manifested your illness. You didn't manifest your illness, okay? You don't have a psychological problem, okay? But of course, yeah, we can all work on a little bit more positive thinking. But the main problem that I'm going to be working to fix in the next few years with my content, and that I'm giving you the intro to right now, if you want to get a head start to be the healthiest and most alive and vibrant and just powerful version of yourself, it all starts with understanding the proper diet information on planet Earth. Okay, so quick story, about 2 years ago I had eczema. I've had it my whole life, right? So I've had eczema since I was 1 year old, and it was getting a lot worse about 2 years ago. I've been researching all kinds of personal development and spirituality subjects full-time for the last 10 years. That's what I do. I research existence full-time. I've read hundreds of books. I've been on over 20 meditation retreats. All I do is contemplate the nature of existence, okay? So in my journeys in personal development, I've tested over a dozen different diets: vegan, paleo, carnivore, and keto, and all these diets, okay? I've tested dozens of diets. So in my journeys, I discovered that there's actually only one source of diet information on planet Earth that is the most advanced, that's the most effective, that's the most true, and that leads you to optimal health. Now, I know that's a little weird. I don't like to say things like, oh, there's only one truth. It sounds like Christianity, you know, there's only one truth, you know. I don't like to be dogmatic. I'm a multi-perspectival thinker, okay? So I always tell you to look at different sources, you know, not only to get married to one source. But the thing with all truths is that sometimes there's a time when Once you've actually studied hundreds of different perspectives and tested dozens of different diets and different protocols, sometimes through that process of research, you actually just find one source that is clearly more advanced, more accurate, and more effective, and has a better track record than all the other sources. And so for us right now on planet Earth, there's this source, it's called the medical medium information, okay? So what makes the medical medium information the most powerful diet information on planet Earth is that, first of all, the source that it's coming from. So medical medium is a guy from the US who was gifted with this unique and rare spiritual power where he's actually able to like gain extremely profound diet information. He's able to diagnose people's illnesses just by like looking at them. Okay, you can see what's wrong inside their body, if they have metals or if they have heart problems or gut problems or brain problems, whatever. He can actually see inside people and diagnose their issues. And now I know it sounds a little woo-woo and new age, okay, blah blah. Now we don't trust him just because he says he has a spiritual power, okay? That's not why I trust him. Okay, I'm not just like a sheep who just believes everyone who says they have a spiritual power. But we also, since I studied hundreds of perspectives, and I only have 10 minutes for this video, remember, so I'm trying my best here. You need to understand, first of all, that some humans on Earth have genuine spiritual powers, and that's a real thing. And if you deny that, that means you live under a rock, and you didn't actually care to look. You don't even care to look, right? Some people are like, no, spiritual powers don't exist. Really? Did you spend 3 years looking? Did you read books about it? Did you meet people who have spiritual powers? Multiple of them? Have you worked with them? You can even try developing them yourself, right? So that's a real aspect of reality that's been well documented for thousands of years. They're called CDs. Some people are just, they have spiritual gifts, okay? So now we don't just trust everyone who says they have a spiritual gift, because of course you can be lied to, you can be deluded. You know, I can say I have a spiritual gift, you know, and then pay me $1 million and, you know, I'll give it to you, right? So of course there's room for delusion there, okay? But how do we sort the wheat from the chaff? How do we know who's lying and who's not? And what I've discovered through my journeys and through my over 10 years of studying epistemology, the philosophy of knowing what's true and how things actually work, I've discovered the conclusion is that you don't actually know what's true until you look deeper, until you test and just see and experiment. You can't prejudge information before you look deeper, check it out, research it, test it, question it. Be curious, you know, be open to it for a few months, for 6 months, for a year. You got to test. That's why I said I've done all this testing and experimentation. So the medical medium information, what makes it so profound is that in his books, in his blog articles, and also on his podcast, he has clear, vivid descriptions of specifically what causes virtually every single mystery illness that when you go to your doctor, they just shrug their shoulders and they scratch their head. They don't know what's going on with you. Like, for example, they'll diagnose you with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, but they won't actually tell you what's causing it. And the only solution they give you is like a pill, and then they'll just tell you to eat more protein. Basically, that's like the catch-all right now in our society, where in a few years, we're going to look back and realize how mentally retarded our whole culture is. Thinking that even doctors telling their patients, oh, just eat more protein. Like, oh, you can't walk, you're bedridden because you have ALS or you have like muscular sclerosis. Oh, you just need more protein. You know, make sure you eat your protein so that your muscles stay strong. So what medical medium is what you learn, and I'm going to go deeper into all this information. I've made lots of videos about this already. I have a playlist. Check it out. Diet advice in the description. I'm going to keep going into this because I'm very passionate about it. What medical medium has explained is that basically our medical establishment, our nutritional establishments in the dark ages, and is unable to properly diagnose the causes and to properly treat a vast majority of chronic illnesses that exist, okay? This includes cancer, it includes Alzheimer's, it includes almost everything that could go wrong with a human body. Medical medium has already explained how it works through his articles. So if you have like a certain illness or a question, Google medical medium and then the name of your illness. Meniere's disease, you know, whatever, Crohn's disease, whatever you have, okay, Google it. A medical medium has a solution for you on his website, okay? But again, it's okay for you to be skeptical about this. I know it's okay to be skeptical. If you feel like this is weird or maybe he's wrong, that's fine. You're supposed to be skeptical. But what I'm telling you as someone who did like years of the research is that this is the most advanced health info on earth. It's the most effective, and he has an insane track record. You can see he has live streams of people coming up to him, shaking his hand, and literally looking him in the eyes and saying, yo, man, you literally saved my life. Like, I was bedridden for 10 years, and I went to hundreds of doctors, and nothing worked or helped because they're all basically guessing. They don't know what's wrong with me because their training, the medical establishment, is not very advanced when it comes to dealing with most chronic illnesses like nerve problems, thyroid problems, etc. Okay, their solutions just to give you a pill for the rest of your life, right? So that's a very profitable solution for the pharmaceutical industry. It's not that doctors are bad people. I'm sure they're trying their best, but their education didn't prepare them to deal with these chronic illnesses. Okay, so medical medium, since he's has this spiritual gift, it comes from the spirit of compassion, and it just comes to him. He's been doing this for over 50 years. His track record of healing people in severe cases is exemplary. It's unheard of. He has an insane track record, and his protocols actually work when you use them. They've worked for me. I completely healed and reversed my eczema, which is pretty unheard of, to heal eczema from the root. For those of you who have eczema, you know it just keeps coming back over and over and over and over again. It never goes away, right? And it sucks and it itches and shit. I've also completely healed my allergies, like seasonal allergies. Those have completely gone away. So my health is like totally optimized after doing this for about 18 months to 2 years. So the good news that I wanted to share with you today is that on planet Earth, we have very powerful health information, okay? I'm going to keep making videos about it, and I've already made some amazing videos about it. So a very simple sort of introduction, I'm going to leave in the link in the description. And just like to take away from this video, I want you to open your mind to this thing called the medical medium information. It's by far the most powerful health information on planet Earth. And I also want you to realize that the health space is a cesspool of unconsciousness and just total guessing and lack of effective results, okay? So everyone and their mom has a strong opinion about how diet works, what food's healthy, what food's not healthy. What I've discovered is that many of the mainstream opinions about what works and what doesn't work is actually corporate planted ideas. Certain ideas like omega-3 for your brain is one example, right? You need omega-3 for your brain, fish oil, right? That's like the number one, most common thing. You start researching health, you start taking fish oil pills for omega-3 for your brain, right? Medical medium in his books and on his article says it's total. That's bullshit. Fish oil, first of all, is actually high in heavy metals. So the heavy metals actually are not good for your brain. It's not good for any part of your body. Second of all, your brain doesn't actually need fatty omega-3 from fish oil because your brain's not actually made of fat. Your brain has trace amounts of omega-3s. That's true. It has trace amounts of fats, but your brain is mostly made of glycogen storages, which is actually sugar. So if you're interested in optimal brain health, things you should be thinking about are like wild blueberries, celery juice, apples, bananas, spinach, basically fruits and vegetables. But what I'm saying is that meat, dairy, egg industries have basically warped our entire medical paradigm to be biased towards high fat and biased against fruits and leafy greens, okay? Because if the humans on Earth knew that we could eat fruits and leafy greens and vegetables to be optimally healthy in the proper way, then we would have no reason to buy all this milk and all this eggs and all this meat and all this kind of stuff that actually keeps many industries afloat, including pharmaceutical industries, who actually profit off of the mass sickness that is sort of ravaging our population, okay? So very lucky for you and lucky for me that I found this information, and lucky for me that I spent the last 10 years researching epistemology, philosophy of science, and basically deconstructing all of existence in many different ways and forms. So I actually have the psychological capability and the intelligence to be able to bring you this information in a way where you can actually see that it's by far the most powerful health information on earth. And I wanted to try to give you the full scope of this information, which is a lot. Scope means breadth times depth. Okay, so it's broad and it's deep. Okay, so I could make 3-hour videos going into details about all this, and I've already made lots of content, hour-long content about this diet, so you can check that link in the description. I gotta talk a little bit longer. I think I'm doing okay for time, but yeah, so the good news is that you now have the ability to basically be the healthiest human on planet Earth, to never have chronic illnesses, and to make your kids and your family healthy for the rest of your life. And you're going to be getting access to this information because it's the best thing ever. And as you do it, you're going to feel like $1 million. And health is wealth. When you feel like $1 million and the inside of your body's clean, it's free from viruses, bad bacteria, it's free from rotting and rancid fats, it's free from heavy metals and this kind of stuff, and it's full of life-giving nutrients from apples and bananas and clean carbohydrates, antioxidants, right, phytochemicals, mineral salts, all this stuff from fruits and vegetables. And you mainly have to understand psychologically how the whole thing works. Once you do, your life starts to change in an amazing way. Imagine being a diet god and having the actual information about how your health actually works. None of this guesswork, none of this he said, she said, oh, he said this, oh, she, no. Like, you'll actually know for sure how your actual body works and how to optimize its health for generations, not even just for you, but for your family, for your kids, your offspring, your loved ones are going to know how to be chronic illness free and how to be the healthiest you can possibly be for the rest of your life. Okay, so it's beautiful information. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep sharing it. Okay, you can get started. I have a playlist on my channel. You can check out Medical Medium's blog and books, etc. I gotta go. I'm going on a nice hike now. I'm gonna enjoy the day. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll be back soon. Okay, so stay tuned. Peace.